Hello, friends. Service Selection Board interview techniques are important part of preparation. Today, I am going to touch upon few salient features of interview preparation and things that you generally falter during your answers or your behavior that you displayed in the interview room. So many of you are appearing for SSB or for other interviews. In fact, these points are common for even civil interviews, which I sometimes conduct for CAPF, even IB, maybe for the UPSC, civil services exam, as well as the state service selection, PCS exams, Public Service Commission of the states, and so on. So, interview techniques, whenever I deal with them, I always try to uh, tell my students that keep yourself cool and calm. You know what is interview? It is a formal place with informal interaction. So, it is a formal place. You are under a pressure of being selected, and you know it is a challenge. There is a job involved. You are under pressure of getting your job. You've been working hard. You have passed your written exams. In some cases, you have gone for direct interview. Depending upon your background, your academics, the PIQ is the Bible. And the person who is waiting for you to enter, he is preparing himself or he's already prepared himself before you enter, that who are you or what kind of probing that he is going to do to carry out a nice dissective analysis of your mind or your personality. So, first of all, please give him regard that he is not going to trouble you. He is going to make you at ease, make it informal, and he will help you in initiating your display of your merits and your preparation that you have done. Unless you become bit different, maybe impolite or arrogant, or start explaining many things to him, these three things are faults. Ignore, arrogancy, impoliteness, and explaining lot many things to your person who is of your father's age. He is judging you, he is the boss, he is in power. So please remember, these are the first three things that you should not even let the IO smell out of you in the interview board, right? And second part is keeping yourself planned. There are many ways to keep yourself planned, by judging the timing from your fingers, that I'm speaking less or more, and pressing your fingers in the inside your toes or maybe even your hands, just without letting anyone notice you, and speaking, pausing, and then letting it stop. Full stop is important. You have to stop somewhere. It should not happen that IO says, okay, okay, fine, let me ask you the next question, or he stops you or interrupts you. That is a fault. It should not happen. Maybe once or twice, maybe once, but it should not be repeated like this. This behavior should not be there. Next point is about, questions which are a little tricky, opinion based, dumb questions, which we call, in which he is generating your mindset. I also like to draw your attention to the fact that IU never asks a question for one purpose or just for the sake of answer. He is looking for minimum five things in you while he is expecting you to answer. Those could be your presentation, structured thoughts, your understanding or awareness, not knowledge, the awareness or utility based information of the subject that he's asked you, and easy to communicate factors. He's also looking at your composed structure, not getting, burdened, not getting underconfident or getting foxed by the question and unable to react. So he's able to see that are you able to take these challenges and still able to comprehend, compose yourself and display an officer like quality which is expected to be there in an officer in operational situation while you will be in service. So he wants to know these traits into you. If the incipient potential traits in its incipient stage, these are there in you, you have the potentials, then he will say, okay, I will clear him. He can further develop these skills during the training or maybe during the initial years of service. But he has to smell it well and he has to take the responsibility of clearing you from this filter. And remember, you got to satisfy him. So keep composed, calm, full stops, crisp communications, and at the same time answer sometime in a manner which gives him information, and he may ask you some more questions from that only. So it is called leading questions. Now, leading questions, he asks you a question, you have answered it, probably he is going to ask another question related to you for which you are smartly already prepared. So these things matters in preparation stage. And today I'm here to tell you interview techniques preparation in which you should think about these aspects: common questions, leading questions, dumb questions, and what are the sequences in which the questions will be asked in general. There will be 30 to 40% which would be generally known to you, and there will be about 60-70%, sometime even more or sometime even less. See, it's a vast, subject. Interview, depending upon the situation, the way it is being handled, the way it is being steered, or where you are leading it, you have led it or he has led it, it can, go on. Sometimes it can go on for a very long time. But remember, the kind of variety that you give, the kind of variety or the variables or different kind of questions that are asked during interview, that gives a clear picture that you are being exposed to variety of questions. You are not being limited to your biodata, PIQ related questions and social questions, etc., trade based questions, but also on the national, international, scientific view orientation, social factors, emotional quotient, situational variations, challenges, uncharted waters, and your response into the uncharted waters. All this matters. So keep your bits about. Remember to remain cool, calm, confident. Take the challenges. Remain crisp. Lead the IO sometime if you can. But be very, very smart in doing this. No impoliteness. Never be arrogant. Don't explain. And get success in the SSB. So this is not so difficult if you prepare well and then go for interview. So my strong recommendation to each one of you is to prepare for interview by selecting common questions, writing the answers, then making it in a talk form, and then practice it at home. Don't think and speak during interview. वहीं पे कर लेंगे, वहीं पे समझ लेंगे, वहीं पे अपना आंसर बना लेंगे. शायद ये पॉसिबल नहीं है. It is not okay. You could be 80% okay, but that last 20%, last mile connectivity of meeting standards of SSB or the IO's expectations will not be fulfilled. You will have to probably understand this part and prepare well. So all the best to you. Give your time for interview preparation, learn the techniques, and then be extra prepared during the IO's interrogations. Thank you. Jai Hind.